All right. So what you did here was nice and all. Right. So like you just did, you had to use lines. Okay, two lines instead of a rectangle. It's still fine, but aesthetically, okay, sometimes or when you have several zones like so or very close zones, sometimes, okay, it may make your work look dirty. Okay, that's why we have to use rectangle so that we can just start on separate zones, just like this one you did here. You can just start from very close to that week, like so, and extend. Start from close here and extend. Start from close here and extend. Okay. So I'm going to show you on a clean chart to show you an example. So this is what is this NZD USD 4 hour time frame. This is the same chart in which you did what you did. Okay, so let's make sure we are on the same level. Okay, so this is a NZD USD, same 4 hour time frame. So if you are marking this out, okay, we know our structural highs and structural lows. So if you are to use those vertical lines, this is what it's going to look like. You have to use two lines, body to wick, okay, body to wick. You see, we have two lines there. It will be drawing from left all the way from the left screen to the right screen. Yes, it's nice, but if you do it continuously on some pace, okay, most times it may make your work look unkempt. Okay, so looking for our next low, body to weak. Okay, so pressing it there, I can clone that and place it there. Okay, though it looks clean on this one, but most times, all right, you still tell me or whichever one looks better for you. All right, whichever one looks better for you. All right, then you can use it. So you see what's happening there now. See how close they really look. Okay, so if you continue like so, if you continue like so, you see how unkempt or dirty is going to look when you have to. It will be even hard or difficult for you to between these lines because how is lines running from the screen from the left side of the screen all the way to the right side of the screen. So this is kinda is going to make highest if you are using lines. I just rather use one line. So okay, just like what you see on my screen here. Just use one line, one line. Okay. Those two lines most times makes the work cluttered. So I'm going to take all of this out. All right, I'll take all of this out and do it the way I do it, okay, to make our chart look very clean and kempt. All right, then you decide whichever one you want to stick to, okay. You decide whichever one you want to stick to and work with it. But I don't feel comfortable with those vertical lines all the way from one end of the screen to the other end of the screen. Okay, so if it was a case that we were to use our rectangles. Okay, so since these heights are starting like so, I can just plot them like so. All right, extend it to return price action. So I don't necessarily have to go and start all the way from the left, okay, all the way there. So this is just price action, body to week, body to week. I can start here because looking behind here, there's nothing. Okay, then extend it to future price action like so. So at least this area saves me my eye and the stress of making it look unkempt. All right. So remember, body to week. See all that inculcated these areas. You do same thing here on your next lows and highs, and even when you're dragging them out. All right. All of this may necessarily not have to be on the same level. Okay? Some can be slightly inside here. Some can be since it's going to take price longer to reach these ones above. Okay, but the closer they are to recent price action, the longer you necessarily have to make them look. Okay, so like these ones are very close to recent price action, and you continue like so, body to week, body to week, body to week, body to week, body to week. So you see how that looks better. So you tell me this one or the lines or the vertical lines from one end of the screen to the other. which one works better for you, okay? So for me, this looks clean and neat, unlike putting lines from one end of the screen to the other. So that's the issue in which I have with the overall vertical lines. But also, if you want to use lines, there are another set of lines that I do use, okay? If you actually want to use lines, there are another set of lines that I do use that makes things this is it this horizontal line, okay, this one in particular that has a dot like this, not this horizontal line, this horizontal ray. Okay, I like this horizontal ray. If I want to use lines too, you see the difference of this one. You can place it at the area you just wish to start. Alright, so I'll take this off. You see this one is would look different from the other one that has to run through the one end of the screen to the other end of the screen. So this horizontal array, okay, still works perfectly for me as the rectangle itself. So I can start from one end to the other, just like I should have these rectangles. Okay, so I can take those out. So you can see it just starts from where you want it to start. It functions from where you want to function, unlike the other horizontal line that will have to run through one edge of the screen to the other. So either of these two works for me, but anyone that works for you, I've shown you why I don't feel comfortable with them, or either all of them are actually right. But either way, the ones that you are okay with, you can work with them. So that's one of the um this corrections for what I feel on this one, and the second one is is this, all right? So if you compare this to what we just did now, you see that this looks cleaner. Okay, this is the chart. So GDP in JPY, that's the same chart you have here, GDP JPY. You can even see my screen here, although I did not mark out a lot of areas of interest. Okay, the ones I did from way back. Okay, I just use it looks cleaner than what you did here. All right, rather it looks cleaner. This is what I did some months back. Okay, it looks cleaner than what you did here. All right, it's quite unnecessary that you have to start plotting areas more than one or two market structure. Previous market structure is fine. All right, this is one market structure. This area is one. This area is two, and this side is three. So it's quite unnecessary to start plotting all the way from these sides and even crossing them to the other side. Okay, so I'll show you real examples now. So I'll have to use lines. Um, I have to use vertical lines to demarcate them. Okay, so you can see this area is zone one. Okay, if I was using is that text to I can't really find. So this first area is our market structure, our recent market structure, which is zone one. This area is the zone two, and this is zone three. So it's quite unnecessary that you start plotting market structures past two areas, two previous market structures. So you connecting from you connecting from what you did at some point, like something like this, from here and all the way back to the screens. It's quite unnecessary because price has passed this area. This zone 2 here was a reaction of this previous zone 3, okay? And this zone 1 here is more like the reaction of this zone 2. Okay, so it's although all these areas more like match, okay, but it makes your work look unkempt. Okay, it makes your work look unkempt that you have to be plotting from one end of the screen to the other all the way like this. Even though you don't plot them from end of the screens and you are plotting them like this, okay. Logically you know that this works, but price has passed those areas. The only way you can just keep this is if you had already plotted them and you still extending them to recent price action. Okay. So for me, what you should have done here, you stopping at starting from zone one to zone two is fine. All right. You see, that will make the work look neat. Also, the aim of also plotting these areas of interest is to make your work look neat. So crossing these areas, all right, even with this, we have all this, we have highs. All right, we have highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs. All right, so even these highs, these lows, all right, these higher lows in front here is okay. You don't necessarily have to start dragging them again back to the higher lows in behind. But if you have to, it's still very much fine if you have to drag them behind here. But it is too unnecessary, right? It's over necessary to start dragging again to this zone 3. Okay, you can stop on the market structure, the second market structure here, which is this is a phase zone. All right, this second zone still react to what is going to happen in previous time. The same thing to if price has to create a new higher high like so. If price has to create a new higher high like so, what does this mean? All right, you only mark out your levels with the recent ones. Okay, you only mark out your levels with the recent ones. You don't have to you only mark out your levels with the recent ones. You don't have to start marking out this zone 3. Now this area will turn to a zone 3, a new zone 1 will be here. Rather, sorry, this area will turn to zone 3. All right, this one zone 2, and this is the zone 1. So you only mark out this area and probably this area. You don't have to go all the way back here again. I don't know if you get my point. Okay, so what are we saying here? Just one or two previous market structure marking out is fine. Okay, just one or two market structure, previous market structure is marking out is fine. You don't have to go past two. All right, it will make your work look unkempt. Although logically, yes, those reactions came from those zones, but to make your work look unkempt, you can see how mine looks right now. Okay, it looks cleaner. Okay, so even though you want to do the multiple times, all right, a lot of it multiple times, remember, extend to recent price action, extend them to recent price action like so. All right, and you keep doing so where you have areas, multiple week rejections. All right, your highs, your lows. So I can bring this here. You don't necessarily have to. For no reason you have to start dragging this again back to the other side, passing that zone. Okay, this market structure itself, this one behind and this one is in front is fine. All right, so that it will make things clean and easy for you to spot. So like so, these are actually the structures that you can find here. Basically, it looks super neat that what you did, one, two, three, four. Okay, you can put this one above if you really want to count it. Right, so you can see I have few zones here, one, two, three, four, five. And if you look at your own, it's a lot. All right, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay, so just use your eye, use your market structure. Why you have several market structures here are because we're still finding reasons to mark levels all the way from this side. Okay, you should have just stopped at this area. Okay, or even this area. Let me also show you another thing. Okay, even though you want to do this, it's still very much fine. All right, for me, this is what I mostly do, but even though you want to do this, okay, like this one now does not have an area here. So that's why sometimes it's also necessary you bring in the second area. Okay, so you see this zone and this zone, though we know we can connect it here, but it will make your work unkempt. Like this one, we have two zones here already, or a zone here. You can just keep it at that. Okay, except if you look left, you don't find a very near recent price action on why price reacted off that area, then you can go as far as the second zone. Okay, so this works, and you can also testify to this that this looks cleaner. Okay, very very cleaner, and we have fewer zones like one, two, three, four, five. Okay, in your case, you had up to eight zones. Okay, and man, it's not pleasing to the eyes. So actually, this is how our areas of interest are being plotted once again, and this is what it looks like on a long run. So I'm gonna send you the video so you can look, practice, and also make do of it. Okay. Also, if you remember how we plot market structures, okay, you see how the structures works. Okay, and see how the structures works. So the cheat code is just making your highs and lows of the structures. Okay, so let me take this out. So this is what it basically looks like, and that's it. So let me take this off. So just try to redo it and get the concept right and try to master it too. Little by little, you gain perfection, and more practice will make things easier for you. Okay, so cheers.